But in order for the children to be hers, she has to be teaching them her doctrine. And her doctrine is the doctrine from heaven. It's the doctrine of truth. It's the laws of heaven. All right? That's what that is. So to enlarge the number of people, children, that she indwells in. That means to enlarge her birthright. This is your comparison to when Mother God, and it is Mother God who says it, because she says to her daughter, I'll enlarge in your tent. All right? Just make your comparison. Use your brain. What it's telling you. This is your comparison to when Mother God says she spread out the heavens like a tabernacle. And she said she did it. She said, I spread out the heavens like a tabernacle to dwell in. Where does she say that? Well, she says that in Isaiah 40. So let's go to Isaiah 40 and we'll pick the verse up right quick. Verse 40, chapter 40, verse 22, it says this. She says this. She says, it is she. They got he. Well, of course those men of Baal have he. What else are they going to have? That sitteth upon the circle of the earth, and she does, along with her daughter. And the inhabitants thereof are as grasshoppers, that stretches out the heavens as a curtain, and spreadeth them out as a tent to dwell in. It is she that does that. She spreads them out. It's not he, because they are her children to indwell with her doctrines. That's your comparison here to Isaiah 54 verses 1 to 3. When she promises her daughter, she says, we will enlarge in the tent that you dwell in, the desolate woman who is without children. She's going to enlarge in that tent that she dwells in. And that's a promise that Mother God makes to her daughter in Isaiah 49. And then you get the comparison. She says, I'm the one that stretched out the heavens. I created the heavens. I created the body. I created the Father to dwell in. The heavens is your Father. And she says, I created that. I created him to dwell in. He's mine to dwell in. She's saying, I'm the Spirit that gave life to him. That's what she's saying. You can't reason that out. Too hard, is it? Well, whatever you do, don't go to male commentary, because I assure you, they will not show you this. So she says this. So this is your comparison, is when Mother God says she spreads out the heavens like a tabernacle, which is in Isaiah 40, verse 22, to dwell in. This is the description as well of the daughter's birthright. Actually being made larger, because she is now not only indwelling Israel, but all of the Gentile nations as well. That becomes her tabernacle enlarged. This is all amazing allegory when you begin to understand it fully. So, heavenly wise, it means she will inhabit and dwell in a larger portion of heaven. That's simply what it's coming to mean. Israel, she, not he, because they got it a he again. Israel, she is obtaining that which she sought for. And what has she sought for? She has sought for her children. That's what she has sought for. And in Romans 11:7, it says that. It says what? Let's go there and we'll read it. Romans 11. What does it say? It says this. Verse 7. What then? Israel hath not obtained that which he seeketh for? No. They're always going to put he. Doesn't matter that obtained is going to lead you to the word birth. Alright? Because men birth. It's a he. And Mother says to her daughters in Hosea 2, you turned away from me, and you turned to your husband as if he's what gave life to you. Your husband can't give life to nothing. It is the daughters that do that. It is the Mother God that did that. That's sense and reasoning, unless somebody lied in this creation. I'm going to say God's creation that she created didn't lie. I'm going to say man's words, pens, the wicked imaginations of his heart was the liar here. We're told that. I believe it's Jeremiah 23. But Romans 11, it says, what then? Israel had not obtained that which she seeketh for? She seeketh for her children. But the election hath obtained it, and the rest were blinded. Well, the election there that she's talking about is these daughters of 144,000 daughters of Zion. So if you're not seeing this truth and you're hard-hearted against it, then you were intentionally blinded not to see it according to the scripture. And that 144,000 is called your first fruits. And it says, for if the casting away of them there is the daughters of Zion that the first Adam rejected a covenant with, did not want a covenant with these righteous daughters, and perpetuated violence against them to get them out of the land. Alright? For if the casting away of them be the reconciling of the world, you get why they were cast off, so that the entire world, the Gentiles, her birthright would be enlarged, her tabernacle would be enlarged, that she would come to dwell in. That would be the children that she would claim. The desolate woman would claim them. And what shall the receiving of them be? Put life from the dead. They're going to bring life to the body, to the dead body. That's what these daughters of Zion do. Men do not give life to the new creation. It is the daughters that do that. They are not waiting for the manifestation of no sons. This creation is groaning, waiting for the manifestation of these daughters of Zion to rebirth a new creation, and they do that through truth. That's how it is done. And Mother promises this desolate woman, who is the righteous spirit that was rejected out of her rightful place, known as the daughter of Zion, in whom the first dominion belongs to. It was always hers. She was rejected because Adam chose a covenant with the harlot. And what does Mother promise? Mother promises, for all the shame that you have put my righteous daughters through, in the end I'm going to expose your foreskin, and shameful spewing shall be on you and on your covenant. And that harlot that you hid in your heart and pretended to be so righteous about, it tells you, she says in Isaiah 47, she says, no one sees me. Why don't they see her? Because she's hid in his heart. He pretends to be righteous. Why he's pointing the finger at the righteous daughter, blaming her for it all. And Mother says, but the cup will be in my right hand. That's daughter Zion. We proved it's daughter Zion, the right hand of Mother. Her name is daughter Zion. And she says that cup will come in her hand, and your foreskin's going to be exposed. That's what it's saying, right? So, where was I? She is obtaining that what she sought for, her children. All right? And you keep running the words out in Romans 11 verse 7 for obtained. You run it out to the second or third word, the derivatives that is founded upon is birth. She's birthing her children. What? Has Israel not found her children? Of course she found her children. Sing, O barren, thou that didst not travail, break forth into singing and cry loud. Thou that didst not travail, child. They wouldn't receive her. They wouldn't receive her doctrine. Right? They cast her off. For more are the children of the desolate than of she who has a husband. The married wife there, if you look the word up, let's look it up. Let's look it up. How far are we? 27. Okay. So the word we want is right here. A verb meaning to rule, to have dominion, to rule over. In relationship to marriage, it refers to marrying a woman. What? I thought she was the wife. 1166. No, Baal. It means that he married his own doctrine. He made her his harlot and taught his own doctrine. He became his own ruler over his own body, which is the abomination that maketh desolate. You can't reason that out? That doesn't make sense to you? No, because if you're a man and this is driving you crazy because I got the nerve to bring the feminine aspect into this, then your foreskin is showing. That's what. Because this fallen theology is designed to tickle your ears. That's what it's designed to do. Not hers. It never tickled mine, I can tell you that. But I'm pretty sure it tickled men's. It was like honey on their tongue. But it is cobra's venom in your stomach. It is killing you. And you love it. But shameful spewing is going to come on your covenant, on your foreskin. And Mother said to Abraham, as a symbol that you will not lust after the harlot spirit. so that you can rule over yourself. You will cut that foreskin away as a symbol of that. That you will remain true to my righteous spirit, my righteous daughter that I gave you in covenant. Still not making sense? Still want to believe in fallen man's theology and commentary to lead you into all sense and reason and truth? Go for it. Mother says my truth is going to be revealed. You're not going to stop it from happening because I'm God. So, what else does it say here? Yeah, she will not only indwell the Israelites, but she'll indwell the Gentile nations. So this is all amazing allegory when you begin to understand it fully. So heavenly wise, it means she will inhabit and dwell in a larger portion of heaven. Right, okay, sorry. I backtracked there. In Romans 11, verse 7, we found that she will obtain her children. And while in the beginning they cast off the daughters of Zion, which led to the reconciling of the world, the entire world, the receiving of them in the end of life is life from the dead. It's eternal life for all. That's in Romans 11:15. All right, and we read that. So Isaiah 40:22, I already read that one. And all you got to do is just compare the birthright of the daughter Zion. And that was her name. She comes to be known as Mother Jerusalem as well, because it is the Spirit above that indwells these daughters. They're her inheritance from above. It says, for what portion of God is from above? Job says in Job 30, I think it's 31 and 2. It might be 31, 1 and 2. He says, I made a covenant with my eyes. Why then should I think upon a maid? He's saying, I have a covenant. He's saying, I have a covenant with my wife. And then he goes on and says, what portion of God is there from above? Yeah, I made a covenant with mine eyes. Why then should I think upon a maid? For what portion of God is there from above? And what inheritance of the Almighty from on high? He's saying his wife. That's what he's saying. He's saying, my wife was given to me in covenant. I made a covenant with my eyes. I fell in love with her. She was beautiful to me. Why then should I think upon a maid? But that's just what the first Adam did. Adam did think upon another maid, a harlot. And that's exactly why you have two women's in allegory to two covenants in Galatians 4:24. Galatians 4. Does it say in verse 20, I think it's 24. Which things are an allegory? For these are the two covenants. The one from Mount Sinai, which gendereth to bondage, which is Hagar. For this Hagar is Mount Sinai in Arabia, and answereth to Jerusalem, which now is and is in bondage with her children. So it's telling you it's the harlot that is ruling in Israel, known as daughter Babylon. And that doctrine went out to the four corners of the world and kept us in bondage to it. But what does it say? The other woman does. She is our freedom. That's your desolate woman who this world rejected. They did not want the teachings of the righteous daughters. And they moved to write laws that would subjugate those righteous daughters' teachings under men who would then teach you his doctrine.